Welcome back to HGR with Will. Today we're going to be doing the Sunblaster Growlight garden sent to me by indoorgrowingcanada.com. I just want to thank them for the chance to review this product. Before we get started here, we're going to announce our winner. It's Lewis. He's from the United States. He won the gardening shears for commenting on one of my videos here. So congratulations. We'll be sure to send that product to you. So we're going to be showing a close-up of this this item here. It is a phenomenal item. I'm going to do a little bit of a spoiler here. It is really well made. But just to give you a little bit of an idea what it looks like, I figured record this video as well. Get a good chance. And of course there's my rock wool cubes, all the plants in them. And down in the reservoir as well, just to give you an idea. So it does hold quite a bit of water. I do need to add a little bit. It's been about 2 weeks now since I've put any water in there. But there's the capillary mat, and as you can see, it's pretty wet. I'll also lift up one of these cubes here, just so that way you get a good chance. And you can see that it's quite watery, and it is rather heavy on the cubes. Shipping's 10 out of 10. Flawless shipping, fast shipping, very discreet. Here's a picture of how I received it. So here's the box that it comes in. All the little specs. I'll zoom in here a little bit, give it a couple seconds, just so that way you can have a chance to read. If you need to read it any further, just hit pause. But of course, here's how the capillary mat works. Make sure that you get a good chance to see it all. You can see that they're growing in soil, and it works just as well. Setup of this item, perfect, nice and easy. It took me no more than 5 minutes to set up. Easy instructions. The only thing is you are going to need a Phillips screwdriver in order to put it together, which not a big deal. Most people have those around the house. So quality of parts on this, I'd say overall it's really well done. I'd give it 9 out of 10 though, because there is one component that I did notice that wasn't quite to my liking. I would have liked to see them make it out of aluminum or some other sort of metal, but it's this part here. So right up here, those are the plastic tabs that I'm referring to. It's your adjustment, so that can be definitely changed. This is the part that holds up the hood. Although the hood isn't very heavy, there shouldn't be anything placed on it, so it isn't a big deal, but again, I would have liked to see it made out of metal. The item itself is very well molded, made out of a nice recycled plastic, so it's great for the environment in the sense of not having to use new plastics. The overall impression of this, I'd give it a 9 out of 10. It is very welcoming to my garden as well as my home. It fits nicely in my shelving here. It does give off quite a bit of light. The cost of it originally did seem pretty high, however after opening it up I did realize that it was a lot bigger than what I had thought, which is great. I thought it was going to be a fairly small unit, but it was a nice size. It fits, like I said, it fits perfectly in my shelf here, so it is a great unit to have around the household. So growing experience, 10 out of 10. It is really well. I have rock wool cubes here with about 60 plants currently going. It's probably been close to about 3 weeks now that I've had them started. Everything's doing great. There is also an option to add soil as well. As you can see here, these little plastic doodads here, pretty well made. Actually, really well made. Perfect for soil. Unfortunately, I decided to go with hydroponics, so I'm not doing test on soil, but the hydroponic end is going really well. Cleaning's 10 out of 10, where I'm using the rock wool cubes here. It's a little bit easier to clean. The plastic's really well made. All I do is have to give it a quick wipe down every now and then. If you're going to use soil, the capillary mat might be a little bit harder to clean out, but it would be pretty easy there. It's just a matter of putting it in a bucket, swishing it around, should be good to go. Power usage is phenomenal. It's giving out 49.8 watts per hour, which is phenomenal for 2 lights, both of 64,000 Kelvin. Very low wattage, very cost efficient. Just basing this off a 30-day cycle for 16 hours daily, it totals out to be about 23.9 kilowatts. So just multiply that by your local power energy cost, and you'll be able to find out exactly how much it'll cost you based upon that. If it's a 24-hour cycle, it will be a little bit more, but it's not going to be a huge amount. So the size of this, it's definitely a 10 out of 10. Again, it fits my shelving where I wanted it perfectly. If you do want a little bit smaller of one, they do have some available, considerable amount less cost. The measurements, though, they are a little bit off. It is slightly bigger than what was advertised. For the length, it's 27 inches. For width, it's 15 3/8 inch. As well as height, it's 18 3/4 inch based upon the highest setting that it can do. Again, it's a little bit off, not a huge deal again for myself. So the light spectrum is definitely 10 out of 10. So the light on these bulbs is 6,400 Kelvin, which is ideal for plant growth. The operating temperature of this is 32.6 degrees Celsius, which does a conversion over to 90.6 Fahrenheit. So it is a little bit warm, but the operating temperature isn't too bad. Especially in the winter time, it'll just give you a little bit more heat to the house. Replacement part costs, can't ask for too much better. It's under $20 per bulb. I do give this also a 10 out of 10 because realistically, it's a really good price. So really the only thing that you're going to have to worry about is the lights, and those give off about 10,000 hours of usage. I recommend buying a set of bulbs there just to have them on the side. Make sure that as soon as they do happen to fail, you have them, you can just throw them right back in. Of course, it saves you a little bit of shipping money as well. So for noise, no noise whatsoever. I give this definitely a 10 out of 10. No noise, no buzzing, no humming. It's phenomenal. Overall rating of this is 9.8 out of 10. There is a couple things that you can improve. However, the item itself is phenomenal. My plants are not having an issue. Of course, there's a few that didn't germinate, but that's probably because there was too much light getting to the seed. But overall, phenomenal product. So a couple pros. It's a lot bigger than what I had thought. I have about 60 plants going here, 5 per rock wool cube. Depends on how much space you really want to give them. I personally don't want to be letting them get too big. I'll be cycling through them as I get them. Chop down a thick head of lettuce, let it grow again. Not a big deal. Just as you can see, lots of different stuff. The reservoir will automatically water for about 14 days. Of course, a little bit longer based upon the plant age. If they're younger, they don't use as much water. If they're a little bit older, they might use a little bit more, but it saves a lot of hassle, especially if you're a little bit older, you have back problems. You only have to do it once every now and then. So of course, there's an adjustable height to the light. So based upon what you're growing, how much light you want there, it is quite variable on the height, and of course you can adjust it really easy. So if you're moving, it's not a big deal. It does help out quite a bit there. You can just drop the whole hood right down. Make sure, of course, that there's no water in there or plants. I think that's a given. But basically, you just drop it down. You don't have to worry about the bulbs breaking. You don't have to take it all apart. So based off my local economy here, it's $5.99 for fresh herbs. So about 34 of those, it's going to pay itself off really quick. So you can grow anything in here. You can grow flowers, transplants, veggies, and herbs without much of an issue. The only thing that you do have to take into consideration is based upon the height that you want to use, or how tall the plant gets, rather. There's a lot of room for being able to choose what you want. So this is a very sleek design. It looks good anywhere. Just the biggest thing is make sure the measurements fit, and you should be good from there. It looks really good. So per the manufacturer, again, where I couldn't test out the actual usage, otherwise I wouldn't have this video out for another year or so. Basically, if you're looking at the light usage, there's 10,000 hours of actual on time before the bulbs go. So that totals out to be 416 days. If you're going for 24 hours on, 0 hours off, which is a considerable amount of time. If you're going for a 16/8 schedule, you're looking at 625 days of the lights being on. So it does give you, well, pretty much 2 years there. And of course, the best part is they are cheap bulbs versus like an LED light system, which if one of those fail, you're looking at several $100s. So the 3 cons that I could come up with this, the cost of it, of course, is quite a bit, $199.95 Canadian or $154.94 US. It does seem to cost quite a bit, but after I received it, it was quite a bit larger than what I thought, which is a huge plus. And of course, it does pay itself off rather quickly if you're buying fresh herbs. The plastic hood holder, that is also another con. I wish that it was more aluminum or some other sort of metal just to make sure that it does hold on a lot better. But again, as I previously mentioned, it's a light hood. It doesn't weigh much at all, and there shouldn't be anything placed on top of it. And it would also increase the cost slightly. I do also wish that it came with a timer just to be a complete set, but of course I understand some people do want to leave it on 24/7. Myself, I want to leave it on a little bit less, but a timer only costs about $2 at a local store. Overall rating, 9.8 out of 10. It is a phenomenal product. It's highly recommended, and, well, it's a superb item. I'm going to maintain this for years to come. The uses on this are endless. You can use it for getting things started early for the garden outdoors. To really anything about that you can use your imagination to. I highly recommend this item from indoorgrowingcanada.com. If you do wish to order this, just look down in the description there. There is a promotion code through them. I'll be reviewing more products from them down the road, and of course I'll try to maintain that discount for everybody here where I can't send out everybody something. It will save you a little bit of money, but also what I recommend, if you do order this product, I would go ahead and order 2 extra bulbs with it as well, just that way down the road, after about 2 years, if something happens to it, you basically just swap them out and you continue on. So this item makes a great gift for anybody who likes to garden or cook. I know my mother as well as my grandmother like to cook, so that would be great for them to be able to use this around the house. Nothing beats fresh greens year round, and don't forget to leave a comment below. So next time on HGR, we're going to be reviewing the Blue Lab pH pen. Just a reminder, there's the 23x23x35 growtent still available. Once we do the review on that, random winner will be drawn. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you again.